President of Retail Operations for Ace Hardware, and he's going to tell you a little bit about Ace Hardware, its philanthropy, and he's also going to introduce our 2012 Spirit of Life Award, Ray Griffith.
Good evening. As Bernie said, my name is Kane Calamari, and I have the distinguished honor of introducing this year's Spirit of Life honoree. I have been in and around City of Hope for approximately 12 years, so I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about how did all that start, because I think many of you were around back when it started. I took over the sales responsibility at a company called Intermatic, and actually I took over the Home Depot account. And as many people know in this room, 10 or 12 years ago, when you handled the Home Depot account, that means you dealt with the 9 divisional offices. And part of that were the City of Hope golf outings, where we traipsed around the country, right? We played with a lot of people in tennis shoes, if you recall that. There were wonderful golf outings, but the thing I remember most, and the thing that really attracted me to the City of Hope, was when you heard guys like Bruce Marino on the West Coast. I got to hear Bernie Marcus speak 10 years ago, and I remember Bernie walking around the room. There were 50 or 80 people in the room and introducing himself to everybody. I got to see all the folks that they'd bring in, all the folks that were impacted and went to the City of Hope and told their stories. And I would just say that the people that were dealing with Home Depot then, Rob Myers, I think many of you remember him, their passion for the City of Hope was contagious. And it kind of grabs onto you. And I know many of you were probably introduced to the City of Hope through those golf outings back then. And since then, it's been, for me, a wonderful 12-year ride. I've had the opportunity during those 12 years to visit the facility in California a number of times. And I can tell you, and I think some folks in the room would agree, there is absolutely nothing more humbling than walking the facility in California and meeting the people that are there getting treated and the people that are there that are doing the hard work that Dr. Friedman spoke of. There's nothing more humbling than that. So I would say to you, my one pitch for tonight, if you haven't had the chance to go to the facility, please do so. And this was said earlier, but I'll say it one more time. All of the efforts everyone in this room has put forth over the last 30 years has helped the City of Hope continue its amazing, yet sometimes frustrating work. And I guess now the 30 years, we're going to change that to 35 or 40. We'll get that dialed in once Bernie tells us what's going on. But tonight I'm here and you're here to honor Ray Griffith as this year's Spirit of Life honoree. So I want to spend a few minutes on Ray. As you know, Ray is Ace Hardware's president and CEO. Ace has been the helpful hardware place for the last 87 years, and we currently have about 4,500 stores in 65 different countries, and we do about $10 million at retail. Tonight, Ray joins what I would say, and I think what you just saw up here on stage, is an absolute who's who list in the hardware home improvement industry, and I know he's excited about that. A little bit of background on Ray. This is the part he's not going to like. Ray graduated from Southern Illinois in 1975. You can do the math. He has been in retail his entire life. He started his career in the pharmacy industry with Osco Drug. After a short stint in the pharmacy business, Ray joined our industry, and he has been in the hardware business for 33 years. Ray assumed his role at Ace Hardware as president and CEO in April 2005. Prior to joining Ace 16 years ago, Ray was president of a company called Coast to Coast Hardware. Although Ray loves hardware, I'm sure he would much rather talk about his family. His wife Cindy is with us tonight. How about a round of applause for Cindy? And of course, his 2 children, Brooke and Kyle. Ray was born and raised in what he calls a suburb of Fairfield, Illinois. And I say that delicately. Fairfield's a small farming town about 5 hours south of Chicago. If you go on to Google Earth, you'll quickly figure out that there's no such thing as a suburb of Fairfield, Illinois. I even checked Wikipedia, and I really couldn't find anything interesting about Fairfield. But I'll tell you this, Ray's rural Midwest values, I think, are most evident when I watch him and how he treats our owners at the ACE conventions. Ace Hardware is blessed with 3,000 owners. And Ray, as you can imagine, at our conventions, a pretty popular guy because he's the CEO. And I always say this, it's like everybody seems like they've got something that they've got to tell Ray. And the one thing I'll tell you is that he handles himself with just a ton of class during those conventions. Whether he's talking to a single store in Montana or whether he's talking to a 30-store chain, He treats them the exact same way, and he listens to them. And I know our ACE owners, if they were in this room tonight, they would tell you that they're really excited that Ray listens to them as owners of Ace Hardware Corporation. So rest assured tonight, in my opinion, we are honoring someone that is very deserving of this recognition. He leads and pushes a culture of giving back at Ace Hardware. When I asked him about doing this for City of Hope, the only thing he needed to hear is that we were going to help a great cause. And once I told him that, he said, absolutely, I would love to do that. So without further ado, please join me in congratulating Ray Griffith on being named this year's City of Hope Spirit of Life honoree.